Welcome to Story Time, and our story today is oldie but a goodie, and it's called Officer Buckle and Gloria, and it's written and illustrated by Peggy Rathmann, and it is about, of course, Officer Buckle, who is here, and Gloria, who is here. So we have kind of an interesting story with a few twists and turns along the way, and we start out with all kinds of tips that Officer Buckle could give people. Officer Buckle and Gloria. Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Napville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. Safety tip number 77. Never stand on a swivel chair. Now, I think some of Officer Buckle's tips come from personal experience. And he has number 5, never play with matches. 42, never leave tennis balls on the stairs. Number 41, never play with spray paint. And number 23, never take someone else's medicine. And there's, again, literally hundreds of those tips. Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Napville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes there was snoring. Afterwards, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle. But Mrs. Topple didn't hear him. And of course, if you watch, you see accidents happening. Here we have somebody tripping over an untied shoelace. Here we have somebody falling down the stairs, carrying too many books. One drops, hits the poor student on the head. Over here we have somebody who was going to get a drink at the drinking fountain and slipped on the water. And of course, what she's doing is not a good plan at all. Then one day, Napville's police department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at the school, Gloria went along. Children, this is Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit. And Gloria sat. Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1. Keep your shoelaces tied. The children sat up and stared. Now you can see Gloria is saying that's number 1. Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting at attention. She was. Safety tip number 2, said Officer Buckle. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped. That means they got really big and round because there's some interesting things that Gloria is doing. She's standing on her head. Do you think Officer Buckle knows that? Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip he had discovered that morning. And she's even giving him a smile. See, I'm a good dog. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it. The audience roared. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of the tips with plenty of expression. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. And that probably was because everybody was listening and paying attention. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Napville School. Now you notice a lot of those thank you notes have a picture of Gloria and all the different things that she was doing. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawings showed a lot of imagination. Dear Gloria and Officer Buckle, thanks for coming to our school. You are nice, your friend George. And lots of other thank you notes along the same line. His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. It said, "You and Gloria make a good team. Your friend, Claire. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7. Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phone started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. Officer Buckle, they said, our students want to hear your safety tips. And please bring along that police dog. And here we have Gloria's treats in the treat jar. Officer Buckle told his safety tips to 313 schools. Everywhere he and Gloria went, children sat up and listened. After every speech, Officer Buckle took Gloria out for ice cream. Officer Buckle loved having a buddy. Then one day, a television news team videotaped Officer Buckle in the State College auditorium. When he finished safety tip number 99, do not go swimming during an electrical storm, the students jumped to their feet and applauded. Bravo! Bravo! They cheered. Officer Buckle bowed again and again. That night, Officer Buckle watched himself on the 10 o'clock news. Doesn't look very happy. The next day, the principal of Napville School telephoned the police station. Good morning, Officer Buckle. It's time for a safety speech. Officer Buckle frowned. I'm not giving any more speeches. Nobody looks at me anyway. Oh, said Mrs. Topple. Well, how about Gloria? Could she come? Someone else from the police station gave Gloria a ride to the school. Gloria sat on stage looking lonely. Then she fell asleep. So did the audience. After Gloria left, Napville School had its biggest accident ever. And we notice we have that ... which means more to come. Turn the page. It's called an ellipsis, remember? It started with a puddle of banana pudding. Splat, splatter, sploosh. Everyone slid smack into Mrs. Topple, who screamed and let go of her hammer. What a disaster. There she goes. There goes the hammer. The next morning, a pile of letters arrived at the police station. Every letter had a drawing of the accident. Officer Buckle was shocked. At the bottom of the pile was a note written on a paper star. Officer Buckle smiled. The note said, "Gloria missed you yesterday. Your friend Claire. P.S. Don't worry, I was wearing my helmet. Safety tip number 7." Gloria gave Officer Buckle a big kiss on the nose. Officer Buckle gave Gloria a nice pat on the back. Then Officer Buckle thought of his best safety tip yet. Safety tip number 101. Always stick with your buddy. And again, in the back, we see lots more tips for safety. And that is the end of Officer Buckle and Gloria. Thank you. See ya next time. Bye.